Did you know that your unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic ex is emotionally akin to a toddler? In this video, we're delving deep into a topic that's crucial for parents navigating co-parenting with an unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic ex: emotional intelligence. Welcome back to Parenting Mindfully with me, Dr. Naila Hudani, where I help parents overcome high conflict co-parenting situations so they can live a fulfilling life and nurture a thriving family. When my childhood friend reached out to me a couple years ago, he was in the middle of an ugly separation and co-parenting situation. He knew I was finishing up my PhD in child study and human development, and he was worried about the impact of the separation on his infant child. He wanted to know what he could do as a father to ensure the child's development and well-being, while the biological mom was making every attempt to push him out of his child's life. Since then, I've stood with him and supported him, first as a friend and now as a partner and soulmate. We suffered through a lengthy custody negotiation that led nowhere, while the biological mom attempted to severely restrict dad's time and tried to control every aspect of the child's life, which eventually led us to court, where dad was granted substantial custodial time with the child. And although the custody situation was terrible and co-parenting with an unhealthy person remains problematic, my partner and I have found a way to live our best lives and thrive, all while being part of his amazing child's life. We still experience the co-parenting nonsense regularly, but we have found a way to deal with it better and help the child thrive. And that's really what I'm here to help you do. Today, I'm going to share a topic with you that I think is so vital to not only becoming a healthy and thriving person yourself, but also helping your child thrive when they have an unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic co-parent. We'll explore what emotional intelligence is, why your ex may lack it, and if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll share with you the profound impact of how becoming highly emotionally intelligent may help both you and your child. Are you ready to learn the key role that emotional intelligence plays in our lives? Type yes in the comments below. Let's begin by exploring what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions and the emotions of others. It's really easy to say, but for many people, it's hard to do. So let's break it down. Starting with recognizing emotions. Emotional intelligence begins with the capacity to recognize emotions, both in ourselves and in others. This involves being in touch with our own feelings and being perceptive about the emotions that others are experiencing. It means not only identifying basic emotions like happiness, anger, sadness, and fear, but also recognizing more nuanced emotional states. Anyone who has been raising young children right now will know that the market is flooded with books and resources for teaching young children their emotions. And our schools are teaching it as well with social emotional learning curriculums. For my bonus child, his dad and I started introducing him to content on his 2nd birthday with books to help identify those emotions. Many parents are choosing to start teaching their children emotions very early. And there's a reason for that. Knowing what one is feeling is hard, but it's a key skill to being able to create a thriving life for oneself and building amazing relationships with others. Let's move on to understanding emotions. Once emotions are recognized, the next step is to understand them. This involves delving deeper to comprehend the reason behind these emotions. Understanding one's own emotions, it entails self-awareness. knowing why you feel a certain way and how those feelings impact your thoughts and behaviors. We are emotional creatures. There is no getting away from it. But when we understand our emotions, why we're experiencing them, what is triggering them, and how that is causing us to behave, that's when we really begin to gain control of our own being. Understanding others' emotions is also another key feature of emotional intelligence, and it involves empathy, which is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and grasp their feelings from their perspective. This is very different from sympathy, which is more akin to feeling pity for someone. Many people who are watching this who have an unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic ex will realize that their ex lacks empathy. They may put on a good show to pretend that they understand how other people are feeling, but they very much lack the ability to put themselves in other people's shoes, including their child's shoes. So when I talk to parents who are co-parenting with an unhealthy person, they'll often ask me, why is it so hard for them to realize that this is hurting the child? It's because they lack this ability to be empathetic towards the child. The third key factor involved in emotional intelligence is our management of emotions. The highest level of emotional intelligence involves a skill of managing emotions effectively. This means being able to control and regulate our own emotions, preventing them from overpowering our rational thinking and decision-making. It entails the ability to express emotions constructively, such as communicating how we're feeling in a healthy way and resolving conflicts without resorting to anger or aggression. We can also help manage the emotions of other people, such as our children's emotions, which involves helping them understand what they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, and providing them with the support in managing those emotions so that they are able to have positive interactions with others. Even teenagers and young adults benefit from this kind of support because we continue to learn about how to manage our emotions throughout our lives. Parenting is hard. Co-parenting is even harder. And if you are co-parenting with an unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic person, it feels impossible to co-parent with them. High levels of emotional intelligence from both parents can lead to effective communication, conflict resolution, empathy, and emotional stability. These skills are crucial for reducing conflicts and minimizing the impact on the children and creating a more positive and stable environment for them. However, if you're watching this channel, you're likely not co-parenting with someone who has emotional intelligence, and they're not able to do many of these things with you. You might be wondering why they lack these skills. There can be several potential reasons behind their emotional struggles, including past traumas, unresolved issues, or certain personality traits. And I'm going to go through several of them now. First is their upbringing. It's important to recognize that many toxic co-parents may have been shaped by their own toxic upbringing and the parenting behaviors that they experienced during their formative years. This, in turn, can significantly contribute to their emotional struggles and co-parenting behaviors. For instance, when I speak to parents whose ex is a narcissist, they say that their child is starting to exhibit some of those callous personality traits that their ex used to have during their relationship. And it's not too surprising. I'm sure you can identify some mannerisms or values that you adopted from your parents. In the same way, if their parents were unhealthy individuals who lacked emotional intelligence, then your ex likely didn't learn those skills. This is also why it's so important for you to ensure that you understand emotional intelligence and bring it into your home so that you can be sure your child does too. Number 2 is past trauma. Your ex may have lived through some traumatic experiences, such as childhood abuse, neglect, or other significant life events, which can profoundly impact a person's emotional well-being. Unresolved trauma can lead to emotional instability, difficulty in forming healthy relationships, and a heightened sensitivity to stressors. In co-parenting, this may manifest as emotional reactivity and difficulty in managing strong emotions. What I want to highlight here is that yes, past trauma can contribute to these behaviors, but that is not an excuse for them to behave badly towards you. We can have empathy for them for having had these traumas and lived through these traumas, and you deserve respect. Again, I'll repeat myself. We do not need to tolerate bad behaviors because of their trauma. Third is unresolved issues. Your toxic ex-partner may have unresolved personal issues or conflicts that contribute to their emotional struggles. These unresolved issues could range from past relationship traumas to ongoing personal challenges like substance abuse or financial stress or mental health issues. These issues can create emotional volatility and make it challenging for them to maintain stable co-parenting interactions. Fourth, there are personality traits. Certain personality traits or disorders can make it difficult for individuals to exhibit emotional intelligence. For example, narcissistic personality traits often include a lack of empathy and a heightened need for control and validation, which can result in emotional manipulation and conflicts in co-parenting. Borderline personality traits may involve intense emotional fluctuations and difficulty in emotional regulation. Fifth is a lack of self-awareness. Some individuals may lack self-awareness, preventing them from recognizing and understanding their own emotions and their impact on others. Without self-awareness, they may struggle to identify their emotional triggers or to reflect on their behaviors, leading them to repeat emotional outbursts or erratic behaviors. Next is defense mechanisms. Emotional struggles can sometimes lead individuals to develop defense mechanisms as a way to protect themselves from emotional pain. This may involve deflecting blame onto others, refusing to acknowledge their personal responsibility, or avoiding uncomfortable situations altogether. These defensive strategies can contribute to conflicts in co-parenting. And finally, there are limited coping skills. Inadequate coping mechanisms for dealing with stress, disappointment, or frustration can result in emotional struggles. Some individuals may not have learned healthy ways to manage their emotions, or may rely on unhealthy coping strategies, such as substance abuse or avoidance of situations, which can also exacerbate co-parenting conflicts. Understanding these potential reasons behind your ex-partner's emotional struggles can help you approach the co-parenting relationship with greater empathy and patience. While it doesn't excuse harmful behavior, it can shed some light on the underlying issues that may be driving the actions. In some cases, acknowledging these issues might actually guide you towards more effective strategies for co-parenting or seeking professional help, such as from a family therapist or a mediator, to navigate some of the challenges that you are experiencing more effectively. And I want to emphasize again, you are deserving of respect and being treated well, as all people are. If your unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic ex is treating you badly, this is not your fault. Their behaviors are a result of their own histories, experiences, and personalities. If you are feeling like you are at fault or deserving the way they treat you, I want you to release that notion altogether. Although your ex may lack emotional intelligence, these skills are still very important for you to learn, relearn, or take to the next level for the sake of you and your child's well-being. Emotional intelligence comprises several key components, including self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and effective communication. Let's explore each of these components and discuss how they relate to you dealing with toxic co-parenting. Let's start with self-awareness. This component involves recognizing and understanding one's own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and triggers. In co-parenting with a toxic person, self-awareness is crucial because it helps you remain grounded and composed when faced with their challenging behaviors. By understanding your own emotional response and potential triggers, you can avoid being drawn into unnecessary conflicts and maintain your emotional well-being. For example, recognizing that your ex's behavior tends to provoke anger in you allows you to proactively manage that emotional response. Next is self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to manage and control one's emotions, even in difficult situations. When dealing with a toxic co-parent, self-regulation helps you respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. It enables you to remain calm, make rational decisions, and avoid escalating conflicts. For instance, instead of reacting to provocations, you can choose to respond with composure and assertiveness, reducing the potential for further confrontation. Check out last week's video for more on reacting versus responding. Third is empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand and share the feelings of others. In co-parenting with a toxic person, empathy is valuable because it allows you to see the situation from their perspective. While it does not excuse their behavior, it can help you anticipate their reactions and find common ground. Empathy can also guide you in addressing your children's emotions and needs effectively, especially because your toxic co-parent is not going to be empathetic towards them. Finally, there's effective communication. Effective communication involves expressing yourself clearly and listening actively to others. In co-parenting with a toxic person, effective communication is essential for minimizing any misunderstandings and conflicts. By using assertive and respectful language and communication skills, you can convey your concerns, boundaries, and preferences in a way that is less likely to provoke a negative response. Additionally, active listening allows you to truly hear your co-parent's concerns, which can help diffuse tense situations or allows you to walk away when you need to. All in all, emotional intelligence serves a powerful tool for managing these challenging dynamics. It helps you maintain your emotional balance, navigate conflicts with resilience, and protect the well-being of your children. So let's review. In this video, I shared with you what emotional intelligence is, why your ex may lack it, and how becoming highly emotionally intelligent may help you and your child. Co-parenting is hard. It's even harder when you're dealing with an unhealthy, toxic, or narcissistic ex. And if you need a way to de-stress, check out my free meditation on resilience and self-empowerment, navigating co-parenting challenges. You can find a link to do that in the caption below. And if you're ready to write the next chapter of your life, where your co-parent's nonsense no longer affects you, and you are free to live a life that's fulfilling and nurture a thriving family, reach out to me today to learn more. A link to do that is included in the caption below as well. Finally, if you found this video to be helpful, please do like it, share it, and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you soon.